The Jacksonville man who claimed last week at a city council meeting that he's been sexually assaulting children for years is now talking about it with News4Jax.
Roy Bay spoke with us as police today renewed their call for anyone who may have been a victim of Bay's to contact the sheriff's office. Police released this picture of him from the mid-1980s as they investigate his claims that he is a sex offender who has never been arrested. Bay talked with Channel 4's Vic Micolucci, who's joining us live on the west side with the breaking news details. Vic?
And this is the first time he's speaking out, Tom, since he made those startling admissions last Tuesday night at that city council meeting downtown. He tells me he wants to clear his conscience. He wants to let Jacksonville know that he is not a terrible person. He is not a monster, and he is certainly not a danger to society. But he did again admit that he molested several boys, some as young as 10 years old in the 1970s and the 1980s, starting in the state of Missouri near St. Louis and then here in Jacksonville. But he says he was a victim. He says that his family sold him to another man who kept him essentially as a sex slave. I know that some of these details are really difficult to hear, and he says that man taught him these terrible things, and that is when he and this other man whom he lived with for several years would go to parks, would go to apartment complexes and meet these young boys and just have these unspeakable encounters about these terrible things. He says that for a long time, for decades, he suppressed those memories. He kept them secret. He told some people in his church because he says he was a born-again Christian, but he kept those secret. And recently he had an accident and he decided he wanted to speak out. Here's some from our exclusive interview. You're admitting, though, for a time in the 70s and 80s, you molested young boys?
Yes, I did, because that's part of the way that I was. I mean, I didn't know any better.
You attacked them? Was
No.
this violent?
No, this was Mr. would invite them in. I would come over, and this stuff happened. For the last 40 years, I've been clean of that lifestyle. I have people who will testify on my behalf that I've never gone there. Doctors, friends, who will tell me that I've not been there, been in that lifestyle. I have people right now that I can go babysit their kids if I want to, because they trust me.
Now, he says after he made those admissions at the city council meeting last Tuesday, he has basically been a wanted man. People have persecuted him. Police have been interviewing him several times. He says the media has been hunting him down. But again, he says he is not a dangerous person. Yes, he did these things in the past, but he's sorry for them, and he is cooperating fully with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. In fact, he tells me he's interviewed probably 3 times with their special assault unit detectives. He's giving them all the details. You also heard in that interview him reference that man whom he says really kept him as a sex slave, is how he describes it. He says that man died a few years ago. He says that man was never caught, was never arrested. Of course, we are going to look into those allegations. We're going to continue to research this. But again, he says, yes, he did these things, but that was a very long time ago. He's a born-again Christian. He is very sorry, and he's going to cooperate with investigators as they look for these potential victims. Live on the west side, Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.